Hello everyone, welcome back to the next video. In this video I will show you how to change the RGB color of a live camera preview using CameraX and Media 3 effect in Expo React Native application for Android. So let's get started. So first I'll show you guys the output. So I have recorded the output for you. So here you can see I'll play the output video. So first we need to give the camera permission. Then it will show you the live camera preview. Here you can see this is the RGB color. So we need to pass the RGB color, change the RGB color. So I'll show you where you need to change it, and I'll just click on the capture button. Once you click on the capture button, here you can see the image is displayed inside the image view. So yeah, that's it. Let's see how to do this. So here what the next step is to create an Expo React Native project. So you can just run this command inside your terminal and it will create an Expo React Native project for you. It will ask you for your app name, just give it some app name. Now just to quickly show you the documentation as well, there are multiple ways to create an Expo React Native project. I'm using this blank TypeScript template as you can see over here. But if you want, you can use all these other templates as well. The reason I'm using this blank TypeScript template is because it creates a blank, less boilerplate code with TypeScript support. That's why. Okay, once that is done, you need to go to this URL over here. So like I said, will be writing native code. I'm not using any third-party library. Also, the Expo version which I'm using is 53.0.2. Unfortunately, the Expo guys have still not updated to React Native 80, which has been released a month ago from the time me recording this video, but they still haven't updated it. I don't know why. But anyways, for our case this is fine. I don't think there will be any breaking changes as such. So just go to this URL next. So here you will have to select Android device, select development build, and I have already done all these steps. So here you will have to select your own operating system. I have already ran this command. I have set the Java home as well. I have also set up Android Studio as well. So if you haven't done this, you will have to follow this documentation, then do this particular bit of stuff, then do this particular bit of stuff. Then you will have to cd to your application. So the Expo React Native application inside your terminal, the cd to my app or whatever is your Expo React Native project name, and then just run this command. So this will install this Expo dev client dependencies as well. So you'll have to run this command. Once you run this command, you will have to run this command over here, npx expo run android. Once you run this command, you should see this Android folder being created for you. It will also ask you do you want to run your application on a simulator or a real device. So you don't have to run it, you can just press Ctrl+C. We'll run it at the very end once the application is done, once we finish writing code, because we will be writing native code, right? So you can't just hot reload or hot refresh. You will have to run it from the start, so no point in running it now. Okay, then we need to create this module. So for that you need to go to this particular documentation. Like I said, this is only for Android, so we are not concentrating on iOS. So I'll open it inside a new tab, and here you can see you first need to run this command. Okay, then it will ask you some questions like what should be the module name. Don't enter anything, just press enter. That's it, and it will give you this. It should create this folder for you, modules, my module. That's it. Okay, now I'll just close this. Now few things which you need to do. So first you need to go to the src folder, go to my module.type.ts, and here you can see this is the URL. Like this is the thing which we will use for sending, this key we will be using for sending the image URL from native Android side to Expo React Native side. Okay, now here I have commented this particular thing out. Now this all thing was present by default, I have not added this by myself. I will tell you what I have changed. I have commented these two things out. Now don't get confused by this URL and this URL. This URL is for sending the data back from native Android side or from native side to Expo React Native side, and this basically is a prop. We are not using any prop, so I have commented this out. And this particular thing is same what I have written over here. I have just changed the name on image taken just so that it makes more sense in our case. That's why, that's the only thing which I have changed. Okay, and I don't think I have changed anything inside my module. Just check once. I think this should be the same for you as well. Then once that is done, you need to go to the Android folder. You need to go to build.gradle, and here you need to add this dependencies block. So here you need to add this camera core, then this camera 2, camera lifecycle, camera view, then Android X camera Media 3 effect, which is still in alpha at the time of me recording this video, and this Media 3 effect as well. If this library does become stable, make sure you use the stable version. Then Android X app compat 1.7.0 as well. Okay, once you add all this, you need to go to the main Android folder, go to app, src, main, android manifest.xml, and here you can see we need to add two things. First is this uses feature of Android hardware camera, as well as this camera permission. So make sure you add these two things. Now we also require this write external storage, but this was added by default when we create an Expo React Native project, so I don't need to add it. Okay, and also the internet permission is a good thing to do. Okay, once that is done, let's just see how to use it. We'll see the implementation in a bit. So just go to app.tsx, and here are all the imports which I have written, so feel free to pause the video and copy all these imports. Then here we have one state for image URL, one state just to check whether camera permission was granted or not. Then here I am just checking whether the Android version is greater than 10 or not, greater than equal to 10, because from Android 10 we don't require the write external storage permission. So that's what I'm doing over here inside this method. Depending on the Android version, we are asking for the required permission, and here you can see once the permission has been granted, we just change the state of this particular variable over here as well. Okay, and inside use effect we just call this particular method over here. Once image URL is not equal to empty, then we'll just display the image using the image React Native image element. If it is empty, like at the default it is empty, and if camera permission is granted, then we just display this camera preview as well as our capture button. Else we just say display a text saying camera permission not granted, and these are the styles for that particular thing as well. Okay, then again you need to go to module, my module, go to src java, and here you first need to go to my module.kt. Okay, first you need to add this particular import. Now why we need to add this? Because we need to annotate this my module @unstable API. This is because this media 3 effect libraries are bit like this is an alpha, right? But this unstable API is because of this particular library. Even though this is stable, the API is bit unstable. This is one of the quirks of Android development. Hopefully by the time you guys watch this video, they hopefully resolve this issue, but at least at the time of me recording we need to add this. Okay, and rest everything I have kept it as it is. Then just scroll down, and here inside my module we have commented this out because we are not passing any prof. So to comment out things in Kotlin, you just have to add this // and here also I have commented this out, events on load, and here I have this events on image taken, because that's the type which we are using over here, right? That's why I'm using events on image taken. That's the only change which you need to make. Now let's see the actual code on how to do this. Okay, so the next thing which we need to do is we need to open this my module view.kt. Now inside this my module view class you will have some default code. You just have to delete the default code. Just keep this line class my module view. Okay, next you have to copy. There are a lot of imports, unfortunately. Just feel free to pause the video and just copy all these imports which are present. Okay, then you have to annotate this class with @unstable API. This is because, like I said, we are using the media 3 effect API in this particular class, and given that this class is referenced inside my module.kt, that's why we have to annotate my module.kt as well with @unstable API. Then here we have this event dispatcher of on image taken. Here we get hold of our activity. Here we have our frame layout. Here is our camera. Here is our preview view. This is the image capture. Here we initialize our button. Here we initialize our preview view. Here is our camera executor services. Then here is our process camera provider. Here is our back facing lens. Here we set the layout params for our frame layout, and we add it to our parent view. Then the viewfinder is basically the camera preview. We set the layout params for that as well, and here we call this method. I'll come back to this why we are doing this. Then we add the viewfinder to our frame layout. Then here we set the text background color, text color, as well as alpha for our button, and we set the layout params for our button as well. Then here we add our button to our frame layout. We also add a click listener to it. Then here we override on attached to window, and if it has the camera permission, then we just do viewfinder.post setup camera, and here we call on detach from window, where we just do camera executor to shut down and unbind our camera provider. Now here is the method which we were calling out earlier on. The reason we are writing this method, to learn more about it, you can visit this particular GitHub issue. So this issue has been open in React Native's repo since past 8 years. They have still not fixed it. So why this is necessary is, if you don't write this code, basically your viewfinder will not show you the live camera preview. Instead it will just show a black camera screen. Then here we call setup camera, where we get hold of our process camera provider dot get instance. Then we add camera provider future listener as well, and here we call bind camera use case. Here we get hold of the orientation. Then here we get hold of our camera provider as well. So here we get the camera selector. Here we initialize our aspect ratio. Here is our resolution selector as well. Then here we initialize the preview view. Here we initialize the image capture as well. Then here we have the use case group dot builder, where we add the preview use case as well as the image capture use case. Then here we initialize the media 3 effect. Then here we change the value of our live camera preview. So here you have to change the scale. So here for like red scale I am passing 1f, green scale 0.8f, and blue scale it is 2.0f. so here you will have to play around with this value to get a color of your own like your own choice. Then we add the media 3 effect to our use case group builder. We unbind our camera provider. Okay, we bind it to the life cycle, and then we assign it to the main camera variable which we had defined at the top. Then here we have the take photo method. So I'm just checking whether image capture is not equal to null, and then here we define a name with the help of simple date format. Here we pass the content values dot apply by passing the display name, MIME type, and if Android version greater than P, we also set the relative path. Then here we do image capture dot output file option. So here we pass content resolver, external content URI. Then we do image capture dot take picture. Here we override on image saved, and we pass the URL of the saved image back to React Native side with the help of this particular code over here. Okay, this is just a helpful method just to check whether we have the camera permission or not. And here we have defined two variables, one for tag and one is for the file name format. So yeah, that's all there is to it. If you have any questions, do let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching. Bye.